ladies and gentlemen, this is BC. I'm here with another podcast, Supreme Being. We get together every Monday and Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific. I still have not added the third date yet for the podcast. I will be adding it probably within the next couple weeks, and I will begin interviewing people as well, as I think that will change the dynamic a bit. We're doing very well on Spotify. We're getting anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 plays on Spotify every day, so I appreciate the support. This podcast is sponsored by Team BC, my real estate team. If you guys need anything real estate worldwide, we can help you or refer you to the best people. Go to teambcsold.com, leave us a message. Number 2, if you're involved in real estate and you want to partner with myself and my team, with Team BC, go to partnerwithteambc.com. And lastly, if you're not on my Modern Success program, I recommend you get on it. It's the link on my Instagram bio. We have more and more people joining every day. We have our next live event in Vegas, February 29th and March 1st. It's going to be amazing. I'm considering opening it up to the public for the second day and selling tickets, but we'll see. Okay, so welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is another episode, and today's episode I wanted to focus specifically more towards the men, the young men, and men of all ages. I know a lot of this information will pertain to the ladies too, but I wanted to do one and focus mainly on the men, because a lot of the topics that I have brought up over the years and continue to discuss outside of the traditional success and money and motivation and that kind of stuff, I believe this is important because it governs our universe, whether people want to believe it or understand it. And there's subjects that people don't really know much about and they need to learn, okay? So I'm going to go over some stuff that men must do, things that we're doing incorrectly, and I want people to put these things in perspective, because as I'm running through all these things in my mind, and I look at what I've achieved and what I'm doing, the mastery and the continual focus on these things, on this subject in particular, has been one of the most revealing, satisfying, and exploding out of everything else that I can say. Those are proper words for it, because everything that I have been focusing on and looking to improve in, focus on this subject in particular, has allowed me to progress in those areas much faster, much better, and be able to sustain that growth and that progress, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, I released a video on YouTube today. I recommend, if you haven't seen it, you watch it. And I gave basically some tips and some rules for men to live by. And I want to discuss some of those and some additional ones, because I truly believe that these are some of the things that energetically, if men can really get in line with this, they operate at a different level. They operate more freely. They operate more fluidly. They operate more professionally. They operate more cleanly, and they operate relentlessly. And that's one of the main questions I get is, dude, how are you staying so in line with what it is that you want to do and what you represent? And it seems like you're never really thrown off, or you're lacking motivation, and it seems like you don't deal with the shit that everybody else deals with. What's going on? Well, energetically, okay, I'm in line, I'm in tune, and it's pertaining to this. Okay, so I want to break a few things down. The first thing is this: men, especially men, you have to. And when I say this, I don't mean just in a group setting or in front of other people. I mean for yourself. Anything I say on this podcast is for you and yourself first and foremost. It starts with you, then it goes out to your tribe, your woman or women or family or whatever it is, okay? But it starts with you, and you handle these subjects for you first. Because if you cannot do that, then you cannot extend these things and this energy to other people, because you still have not handled it for yourself, okay? First one is this. It is one word, and it's extremely important, and in my life has completely transformed it, okay? Being a leader. Leadership, as a man especially, you need to embrace and jump at the opportunities to be a leader. Now I want you to think about this for a second, okay? Because this is one of those slept on things that people don't realize at the very most minute level they're not exhibiting. Or if they're not a leader, they're not actively working on it, and it's not on their priority list. So when I say leader, before leading other people, you have to lead yourself. If you find yourself struggling to get out of bed and accomplish things and move forward in your life, and you're a couch potato, you are not a fucking leader. You can't even fucking lead yourself. You can't motivate yourself. You can't get your ass up to go do something and accomplish something. Come on, man. You're a fucking man. You were put on this planet to do something, to hunt, to progress, to accumulate resources, to pave the way, to discover, to map uncharted territory. That's your fucking history. That's your DNA as a man. And you want to tell me you don't have motivation to get up and work for yourself in your life and your future offspring or women or tribe or whatever it is? Give me a fucking break, dude. What do you need? Even if that person got $1 million thrown onto their lap, I guarantee you they would lose it and fumble it within the next couple weeks, maybe in a year max. What do we hear about the people who win the lotto? Fuck, a year later, they're more broke than they were in the beginning before they had the money. How the fuck is that even possible, right? You're like, dude, you got 10 million fucking dollars. What did you do with it? Stick it up your ass? Like, come on, give me a break. So, leading, right? And before I move on to anything else, leading by example. You see, to my coaching members on Modern Success, to anybody that I've taught, anybody who's paid me money, or even the people that watch my free shit, I lead by example. If I've ever asked you to do something, you best believe I've done that exact thing 1,000,000 fucking times. If I've asked you to knock on a door, I've knocked on tens of thousands of fucking residential, business, and doors, period. If I've asked you to make a call, I've made tens of thousands of fucking calls. I've made tens of thousands fucking hand dialing. So when I speak, there's a certain conviction. When I ask somebody to do something, they're not looking at me saying, really? They're like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Because they know who's speaking. And they know who's giving them that thought or that insight or that suggestion or that recommendation. It's coming from me. So lead by example for myself and me, and then for other people. You need a leader? I'll step the fuck up. When something happens, I'll raise my hand and say, I'm in, I'll lead. Everybody follow me. And I have confidence in myself to do that. And you as the men, you have to have confidence in that. Ask any woman who's with a man if she wants a guy who doesn't lead. So this works for yourself in business, intimate relationships, whatever you want to call it. This is universally applicable. Why? Because it's an energy. It's a frequency. And you need to tap into this. So look, if you're a man right now, stop looking out. In the beginning, look at you and say, what the fuck am I missing here? Am I not leading myself? If I don't lead myself, how the fuck can I lead other people? If you can't sell yourself on something, how can you sell somebody else? If you can't convince yourself on something, how can you convince somebody else? If you can't ask yourself something, how can you ask somebody else? Okay? Leadership, number one. Number one, right? Number two is the hunger to progress and get more. Not from a selfish standpoint or what people try to label it as some like nasty sickness or something. I just mean that hunger in a man to want more, to make more money, to get more successful, to help those people around them more progress, improvement, growth, forward movement. That's part of the male fucking energy too. Going out and hunt. Where has that been lost? What, we can just turn on a video now and, well, I want to buy a Bugatti. And then you see 3 people on the internet with the Bugatti and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, well, I have one. I just watch that guy every day. When did men become so fucking lazy and complacent? And not want to, and again, you think I'm just referring to money. No. How about your own fucking intelligence? How about your intellect? How about your abilities in your trade and your craft, right? Let's say you're somebody who works on cars and you're a mechanic. How about mastering that shit? If you're a musician, how about mastering that shit? If you're a painter, or an artist, how about mastering that shit? If you're a salesman, how about mastering that shit? Why is it that just showing up now is enough? Kidding me? Where has that desire gone for the man? Imagine if all the people who came before us who were inventors and paved the way and trailblazers, imagine if they were complacent. Where the fuck would we be? Where would we be? You wouldn't be speaking on this phone, on a live watching me. I wouldn't have this camera in front of me that allows me to put a video out for the whole world to see. I wouldn't have this computer. I wouldn't have this chair, this house, these lights, anything. Because people, life is good enough the way it is. We really don't need anything else. Yet these things that I'm saying, everybody will listen that has a brain and agree, yet we're attacked. Oh, toxic masculinity and all this bullshit that fucking people say. Like, really? So what I'm saying people will agree with, but this is toxic? Like, they've reframed shit so poorly and turned the most basic primitive subjects against people that, like, in one breath, they're like, wait, what's the truth now? People are confused on what the fucking truth is. It's nuts. And I've had people try to debate me on this shit. I'm like, so we have leadership and we have your hunger and desire to get better as a man. Okay? Because let's say you're a man who, in the back of your mind, you're thinking of having more, but let's say you're lacking these first two qualities. Well, what makes you deserving of said things? Just because you think about it and you, in quotes, desire it, let's not even call it a burning desire. Let's just say you yearn for it. That doesn't make you worthy of having it. Okay? So we have leadership, we have your desire for progress and improvement, which I think once you handle with these two subjects in yourself and you start leading others, you can teach them. But then when you show that you have that desire in you, it rubs off on other people. Okay? So it starts with you, but then when you master it for yourself, you can help others and you become that example. So you lead by example. You have that desire and show your hunger for progress as an example. Okay? Number 3, how about the importance of communication and speaking? We look at all the elders of tribes and the stories that they would tell, and we would respect them for that, and they would pass down the knowledge and the torch to everybody else. But I remember growing up, if I desired to be a better speaker or learn more, I was called a fucking nerd or a geek, which kind of turned me off because I wasn't as enlightened as I am now. So the ability to communicate and articulate what you want. The best speakers on the planet can stop a war. The best speakers on the planet can convince somebody of something that can change the whole course of humankind with a few fucking words. Isn't that crazy? With words, with communication. How about the fact that communication and lack of communication skills is the downfall of the majority of relationships on this planet? Right? Does that not fucking light off any fucking light bulbs in your mind? That's a trip, isn't it? Communication. Now, I believe as men especially, it is our responsibility to make that now a virtue and make it something that we need to put at the very top and say, we need to work on our communication. That's why for years, I went to Toastmasters, I continue to read. I've gotten my NLP certifications, I've become a certified hypnotist and all that stuff because I'm studying the mind, I'm studying communication, and I want to keep climbing those ranks. There's 2 individuals who are having beef, I can step in and I can help them resolve the issue with communication. Period. I'm having an issue with myself. I can talk to myself, communicate with me, fix it, and we're good to go. And I can handle my own internal shit and move forward. That's internal self-communication. Again, starts with you, then it goes out. But this isn't important anymore. Everybody's on their fucking phone and nobody thinks it's important to speak. Everybody wants to email, everybody wants to text. Hell, everybody's even too fucking chicken shit to make a video. I know so many people who message me who want to do what I do and make videos and content, but they're too fucking scared to do it. And a part of it is their lack of trust in their own communication because they never fucking work on it. You tell somebody to go talk to a stranger and watch how they start sweating and piss themselves and shit themselves, and it's like this big deal. And all I'm saying is, you don't have to even talk to them. Just go over and say hello. Oh my God, okay, what am I going to say after that? And it becomes this huge fucking thing. It's like, dude, I'm just telling you to fucking say hi to somebody. Is it that big of a fucking deal that your whole system just shuts down? But because they're not engaged in that activity every day working on it. Crazy. So we have leadership, going out wanting more, moving forward in progress. We have communication, which can stop the war, as an example of the power of it. Okay? Number 4, as the man, that's been lost is you are the protector for the people around you, especially the women and the children. And that's what you do. Now, protector isn't just fighting. I can protect people and those around me from emotional attacks and outbursts by people. Criticism and judgment coming in, I can protect them with my skills and communication and what I do. See, this is all around. I can protect them by putting them in a good home and a good neighborhood, by acquiring resources. Okay? All right, give me a second. 1 sec. Special UPS delivery. Anyways, cool. So, protector. Can you protect? See, this is huge. I can protect myself spiritually, emotionally, physically, and people sense that around me. And I focus. Am I saying you have to be the #1 martial artist on the planet? No. Am I saying you need to be some super verbal ninja and be the top on the planet handling haters and all that? No. But have a basic understanding so you can stand up for you and the people around you and they're safe around you, period. Or you make enough money that you can hire the best fucking security. There we go. That's another way of doing it. But that's huge. And again, that's overlooked and it's not that big of a deal. Then you start talking about protecting, and what is it? Oh, you're just you're this overly macho person, right? All you're doing is you're just beating your chest. It's too primitive. It's too primal. It's like, dude, that's one piece to the fucking puzzle. But they will try to attack you for it. But again, as a man, that's what you do. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be the protector. Where did that ever get lost? Like, can you imagine? Like the couple walking through the crowd and the girl's holding the hand of the guy and she's like telling everybody to get back and she's in the front, holding his hand and he's just following her. Like, that looks stupid, doesn't it? So we have that. We have protector. Simple. Enough said. We don't have to talk and elaborate too much on that one. Okay? Here's a final one because I don't want this podcast to be too long, right? You are the representation of truth and honesty. You are that solid rock foundation that anybody around you can count on because you're always going to call shit as it is and tell people the truth. God damn, that shit has been lost. Out of all these, I think it's this one that's been lost the most. And it starts with you. Are you bullshitting yourself? If you bullshit yourself, you cannot be honest with other people. If you're scared of something, you say, fuck, man, I'm scared. I need to fix this shit. If something's not right, you say, hey, this isn't right. I need to fix it. But people have gotten to the point where they bullshit themselves so much that they now have bought into their own bullshit and they think that's true. And now that's just the way they are with everybody else. And I know too many people like this. And most of them I got far, far away from because I didn't want to deal with this shit. And I said, what does it say about me as a man to keep those people in my life? What does that say about me? Doesn't speak very highly of me, does it? So I need to take responsibility as a fucking man, step up. And here's the last one, and we'll wrap it up. Being decisive, man. Making a decision and moving. God damn. I've been hearing that a lot from women. God damn, guys can't decide nowadays. They don't just make a decision and say, hey, let's do this or let's do that, let's meet here. It's always this fucking back and forth. And you hear me always say the classic example of people can't even pick what they fucking want to eat anymore. And you sit there for a fucking half an hour trying to wait. Well, I'm not sure, and I don't know, I kind of like this too. It's like, dude, make a fucking decision. Decide and move. Decide and move. And see, and that seeps into every area of your life. Because then you find it hard. You find it hard to then make a decision in your business or in relationships or in your day-to-day life. Because you overlook that moment deciding what to eat and it takes you 30 minutes and you think it's not a big deal, but that process shows up everywhere else because how you do anything is how you do everything. Straight up. So not only do we need to be honest, we need to be fucking decisive. So men need to step the fuck up. Big time. This is a message to everybody. And we need to re-listen to this podcast continuously to remind us of some of these things. Now, nobody's perfect, but you know as I'm listing these where the weak link is and the one you need to attack first. Nuts, right? So we'll wrap it up here. Then I'll open up to questions for the people who are on live. Number one, if you guys need anything real estate, you can ask us. We can help you worldwide, teambcsold.com. Give us a shout. Number two, if you want to partner with myself and my team and you are in real estate, go to partnerwithteambc.com. And lastly, if you're not on Modern Success, shout out to all the Modern Success members. Go to briancasella.com, or you can go to the link in my bio on Instagram if you want to get more information. And we'll do this again Wednesday, every Monday and Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific. That final date for the third episode I do every week will be announced soon, okay? We'll see you guys. Appreciate the support. Peace out.